family was killed.
He never said it about Robyn, but he would say stuff about marrying Christine.
I know you're hurting, but you don't want to be this guy.
3 divorces, all the secrecy, all this upheaval, all this damage, all this tearing us apart. I'm not interested in their BS, but I don't want to disparage it.
In a recent interview, Sister Wives star Janelle Brown dropped a bombshell. Kody Brown hasn't spent any time with Savanah Brown in over a year. She shared that Savanah told her it's okay, and that if Kody ever wants to see her, she'll keep things cordial but superficial. Ouch. Janelle, clearly holding back some serious frustration, repeated that Kody hasn't made any effort to see Savanah this year, but added that her daughter is slowly coming to terms with it. Savanah even mentioned, "I'm going to have my brothers walk me down the aisle." Janelle expressed gratitude that her sons have really stepped up for Savanah, though you could practically feel the anger simmering beneath her calm words. This hits hard. As for Robyn, she must be so proud to stand by Savannah's deadbeat dad. Can you even imagine? The irony is staggering. Alienating your own kids from their bio dad, lamenting how tough it is to deal with a deadbeat, only to turn around and support Kody, the ultimate deadbeat himself. The hypocrisy is nauseating. Savanah, in particular, tugs at my heartstrings. She's so quiet, so soft-spoken. I can't recall a single moment where she's done anything remotely disloyal to her father, and yet he treats her like she's invisible, simply because she's not one of Robyn's kids. Kody deserves to be dragged through the mud for this alone, never mind his long list of other awful behaviors. Thank goodness for her brothers. At least she has them to lean on. Hey everyone! Welcome back to my channel, Reality Nexus X. It's your girl, Elena, and I hope you're all having a fantastic day. So, let's jump right into today's video. Don't let Sister Wives star Robyn Brown fool you. Sure, she told Kody to call his kids one time, and now people are starting to feel sorry for her. Really? Let's not forget, she played a huge role in breaking up this family. She's manipulative, selfish, and loves being in control. We even heard it from Kody's own mouth, the whole Ariella story. I don't care how many tears she sheds about wanting Kody to reconnect with his family, she should have pushed for that years ago. She needs to accept what she did, stop repeating the same mistakes, and deal with her guilt. But what she cannot do is play the victim, painting Kody as the big bad wolf while she's the witch in sheep's clothing. From day one, she was pushing Kody to keep secrets from his other wives. Remember the wedding dress drama from season 1? While they were dating, Robyn and Kody made a fun little game out of breaking the family's rules and letting the wives believe one thing while they did another behind their backs. And then she had the audacity to be mad when Kody didn't keep it quiet. She wasn't even officially part of the family yet. Sure, Kody deserves most of the blame for the family falling apart, but she went into that relationship with zero respect for his existing wives, his children, or the rules that kept the family together. And she never once tried to stop his favoritism. She encouraged it because it benefited her. Last season, the kids practically confirmed it themselves. Robyn was a key reason the family was crumbling. Fans were heartbroken and furious, happy that their theories were finally being validated, and relieved that the kids weren't covering for Kody and Robyn anymore. But fast forward to now, after one obviously staged scene where Robyn tells Kody to make up with his kids because she's losing respect for him. And suddenly, everyone's forgotten the real pain we saw from those kids last season and over the last 18 seasons. Just like that, people are defending her, saying she shouldn't be blamed because she wasn't married to the others. Really? We've been calling her manipulative for years, and now she's trying to manipulate the audience too. Don't fall for it. If this were real, Kody would be blowing up at her the same way he did with Christine and Janelle. But he's not, because he knows she's the loyal wife. The lies and secrets are the key here. It's some seriously shady behavior, especially when it started before they were even married. She walked into that family with deception and no respect for what was already built. Plus, watching the staged fight unfold, I couldn't help but wonder, where was all this generosity of spirit when Sister Wives star Robyn flat out refused to let Mary host a neutral Christmas Eve and invite everyone? Seriously, where was that spirit when Isabel had surgery and desperately needed her dad? Or afterward, when she required help recovering? And let's not forget the lovely text exchanges. Oh, the warmth of those. Where was Robyn's concern when they got the B&B, and she didn't even bother to make Kody drop by to see Savanah? Remember when she threw a tantrum about how everything they were doing was just a cheat version of the real deal? And those kids know it, she declared. So much concern back then, right? Oh, but now it's all about how she and her kids felt left out at a couple of events. Cue the sad violin. Of course, she's worried about going to the wedding because she doesn't want Ari and Sol caught up in it. What's she afraid of? A full-blown chair-throwing brawl? Drinks splashed in faces? She sat there, observing a group of people who used to tolerate her nonsense, now living their lives without a care about her feelings. Not forcing themselves to include her. Shocking. The truth is, her not feeling safe has less to do with the kids and more to do with how Kody reacts. So come on, Robyn. Why aren't you stepping up and telling your kids that the other kids and their moms don't hate them? How are you really building bridges here? Playing the fake victim role. Oh, boo-hoo, I was ignored at parties. Doesn't cut it. And let's talk about where she is right now. In the last 48 hours, Janelle and Christine have revealed that Kody has virtually no contact with most of the kids. Newsflash: Robyn is a liar, and that's about the only thing we can all agree on. If she genuinely wanted Kody to have a relationship with his children, she'd make it happen. She's the only one with that power. Given how cruel she's been to her own kids, stripping them of their biological father and his family, not to mention their adopted siblings, I seriously doubt she has any capacity for empathy when it comes to Kody's children. She's nothing more than a homewrecker. Additionally, Sister Wives star Robyn Brown's transition from mourning a family breakup to playing the victim of rejection is quite the spectacle. When Christine left, she spent 2 entire seasons lamenting how devastated she was about the family falling apart. She went on and on about how hard it was for her to accept the situation. Cry me a river. Now suddenly, she claimed she was never truly accepted by the family, no matter how hard she tried. Really? If you were so profoundly rejected, why would you have spent all that time mourning the breakup so intensely? It's almost like she thrives on the role of the victim. Just like Kody, who goes from, I'm heartbroken about the loss of these relationships, to I never loved any of them. So which is it? Are you heartbroken? Or did you never love them? You can't have it both ways. Robyn's narrative follows the same pattern. First, it's I am so devastated by the family breaking up, and now it's I was never accepted. If that's the case, then why the heartbreak? It's a classic case of rewriting history for both of them. As well as, Sister Wives star Mary Brown might be a master of silence when it comes to her fertility, but Robyn? She practically has a PhD in oversharing about it. I mean, seriously, it's like watching a one-woman show on the tragedy of Mary's barren existence. As I'm binge-watching those early seasons, it's relentless. Robyn can't stop lamenting how sad it is that Mary only has one child. She's constantly tiptoeing around the topic, saying she doesn't want to make Mary feel bad because she can pop out babies while Mary can't. Oh, the horror of an empty nest when Mary's kid leaves. It's like a Shakespearean tragedy unfolding right before our eyes. Mary, poor barren Mary. It's almost as if she relishes the opportunity to remind Mary that she's less than for not having a whole soccer team of kids. And don't even get me started on Robyn's backhanded compliments. She loves to flaunt how lucky Kody is to be with the fat, older, rundown women with stretch marks. You can practically see her patting herself on the back for her impressive choice in men. If anyone dared to retort to that passive-aggressive gem, you can bet she'd be off in a corner, crying like a toddler while Kody, bless his clueless heart, would insist that she was just showering him with praise. What a charmer. Then there's that cringeworthy moment when Robyn offers to be a surrogate for Mary a mere 17 seconds after giving birth herself. Honestly, it was the pinnacle of smug superiority, a grotesque display that practically screamed, "Look at me, I can do what you can't." Moreover, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm honestly starting to worry about Robyn Brown. Kody is totally obsessed with her. I mean, Mary can't even come for Thanksgiving because it would ruin Kody and Robyn's precious little married couple vibes. He won't reconcile with his kids because, heaven forbid, they might say something negative about Robyn. He can't even visit his grandkids because he can't bear to be away from her. It's like his entire life revolves around Robyn. He has nothing to talk about with Savanah anymore. There's this growing speculation that Robyn might ditch him if the show ends or if the money dries up. And honestly, that's what scares me. If that ever happens, I can totally see Kody snapping. I mean, the guy has a stash of guns, just saying. But hold on a second. It's not exactly the obsession you think it is. Sure, Kody loves Robyn, but let's be real, he's using her as a scapegoat. It's so convenient for him to say, "I can't go to the other houses because Robyn needs me," or "I can't talk to my kids because they don't like Robyn." If everything is about Robyn, he gets a free pass from having to deal with anything else. His love is clearly conditional. The moment Robyn stops being useful to him, that so-called love is going to evaporate faster than a mirage in the desert. And after seeing this new, angry Kody, I'm pretty sure Robyn wishes she could leave him, but I don't think she ever will. The other wives have a grit and resilience that she just doesn't seem to possess. I mean, how would she even support herself and the kids? She's stuck with him, at least until her older kids can take her in and give her the support she desperately needs. However, I don't want to disparage my former faith, Sister Wives star Kody Brown says. Just in case you forgot what disparage means, let me break it down. It's all about belittling something or treating it like it's not worth much. So, very noble of him to make that distinction while clearly implying his lack of respect. But here's the kicker. Right after declaring his intent to keep it classy, Kody Brown goes ahead and calls it BS. Classic move, right? Now, to be fair, he's not completely off the mark. Personally, I think his faith is nonsense too. But come on, Kody. Do you even hear yourself? 1 second you're trying to respect it, and the next, you're tossing it aside like last week's leftovers. #Kody, I'm curious if you actually understand the words coming out of your mouth. Sure, I agree that his faith isn't great, but isn't the timing of his change just a bit too convenient? It's like he suddenly decides to abandon his beliefs because they don't suit him anymore. Funny how he was all in on that same belief system when it was padding the pockets of his favorite wife's home with everyone else's hard work. So congratulations, Mr. Brown. You've managed to validate all the skeptics of your lifestyle and faith. Just love that journey for you. Plus, what am I guilty of that makes these children betray me? Kody Brown laments. And then, as if he's been waiting for a dramatic reveal, he adds, "The only thing I'm guilty of is loving her, Robyn, and not loving their mother." Excuse me. That is what you're guilty of. What kind of twisted reasoning leads you to believe that's acceptable? Seriously, what did any of those women or kids do to deserve that kind of revelation? There's absolutely no excuse for it. Even if they had done something wrong, a decent father would never utter such words, especially out of fear they might reach his children's ears. Can you imagine how devastating that must be for any kid to hear? Of course, they're going to go into defense mode for their mother. What an idiot move. He went on national TV and declared that he never loved their moms. And yet, he can't seem to get over those divorces. Kody wants a relationship with his kids, but only on his terms. He expects them to respect him and treat him like some kind of god. It's clear he doesn't care about them as people. They're just pawns in his game. Honestly, it feels like he's desperate to have them on his side, and his narcissistic self can't handle the fact that most of the kids are loyal to Christine. Additionally, here's another reason your kids don't like you, Kody. I'm just watching last week's painfully staged TLC attempt to make Tweedledee and Tweedledum a little less detestable. And it's clear just how inflated Kody's ego and narcissism really are. He flat out told all his wives, except for Robyn, of course, that he was never in love with them. Seriously? After 25+ years of marriage, they're just supposed to swallow that and move on. You can bet that information got back to the kids. I'd hate him too if he said something like that about my mother, just saying. And he has the audacity to claim his children betrayed him. Get out of here with that. Even if we entertain the idea that he didn't love Mary, Janelle, or Christine, and I don't believe for a second that he never loved any of the original three, how could he ever say something so hurtful? Didn't he think about how his kids would feel hearing that? Rhetorical question, of course, because Kody clearly lacks the ability or the desire to consider anyone's feelings except his own, and those of the manipulative crybabies who've brainwashed him. Kody is just the worst, and next week's preview shows him saying he's just going to pray for himself and Robyn. He's not praying for help to mend things with his children. He's only focused on his relationship with Robyn. How can he not understand how hurtful his words are? He claims he wants to be back in his kids' lives while saying garbage like that. Shaking my head. So I was scrolling through Savanah's recent post about how her brothers are walking her down the aisle. Let's be real for a moment. Sorry, gloves off. The reason for that is because her father, lame nuts, can't even be bothered to show up for his own daughter. Classic. As I dove into the comments, one name really jumped out at me, Hunter. Sure, all of Savanah's brothers are actively involved in her life, but it took me back to when the family moved to Vegas and Hunter was just a kid drowning in depression. Remember that? He found some solace in visiting Christine and Truly, which honestly felt like foreshadowing for the rest of his teenage years. It's so unfortunate because Hunter deserved a carefree childhood, but look at him now. After graduating high school, he's really stepped up. He's been there for Elena during her spinal surgery, showed up for Maddie and her family when he was on the East Coast, and who can forget that heartbreaking scene at Garrison's memorial? He was like a rock for Janelle, sitting there with his chair pointed toward hers, providing the emotional support she desperately needed. I know I'm saying between the lines here, but those moments paint a picture. After high school, Hunter has been nothing short of positive. All the OG kids are solid rocks for their family, but I'm especially focused on Hunter right now. He's truly one of the best. I've always thought Hunter was a decent guy, but watching him support Isabel during her surgery really sealed the deal for me. It's clear he has become an outstanding man. Kody should be proud of his sons, but let's be real, he's just Kody. Probably feels a twinge of jealousy knowing he can't measure up to Hunter. And let's not forget how Hunter was there for Gabe when they moved to Flagstaff. He was like, hey, I've been through this too when we moved to Vegas. Just another example of how he's trying to be the supportive brother that Kody never was. So cheers to Hunter. He's definitely a standout in this chaotic family circus. However, I really wish someone would just sit Kody down and ask him, do you really think saying, I wasn't in love with your mothers wouldn't hurt your kids? It's like, hello, this is an obvious question. I mean, we're all pretty much in agreement that Kody's insistence on this point is absurd, especially considering the countless reasons his kids have to feel hurt and frustrated with him. Yet, even by his own logic, it just doesn't add up. Last episode, he kept whining, what did I do wrong? All I did was not be madly in love with their mothers, seriously. Even if we take that at face value, like that's his only mistake. How can he not grasp that it's hurtful for his kids to hear that? It's baffling. I wish someone would make him imagine what it would feel like if his father had publicly declared he never loved Kody's mother and only had real feelings for his second wife, Janelle's mom. Does he honestly think that wouldn't affect how he feels about his father? I mean, come on. On my rewatch, I couldn't help but notice Robyn's claims about being snubbed by the family. She insists that she and her precious tenders were treated so terribly by everyone. But then she turns around and cries about missing the family during the holidays. Seriously? This is the family that supposedly shunned you and your kids for a decade. So you're telling me you want to spend all your special moments with them? Make it make sense. Maybe her new PR team can help her untangle those lies. And here's the kicker. She claimed she wanted Kody to adopt her kids because, if something happened to her, at least the family would take care of them. But wait, why would you want your kids with a family that you say never accepted them? It's all an absolute lie. Soban and Kody didn't need to be married for him to adopt her kids. That was just a load of BS they fed Mary, and she totally fell for it. This was nothing more than a ploy to make Robyn the legal wife. Well, Robyn and Kody will eventually reap what they've sown. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree with what I discussed? Your opinions matter, and I'm excited to read them. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you.